6:18, 60.6 degrees on day 133, a health update day. I'm just waiting for an Uber over here at Lauren's place to run me over to a coffee shop, which is close to Highway 20, so that I can get some breakfast and then hopefully start hitching. I'll talk to you guys later. All right, 7:07, just finished a quick little, like, kind of disappointing, lackluster breakfast over here at Black Rock Coffee Bar. Got my sign ready to go. There's a bit of a road here that heads off. It's called Roble Lane. I'm gonna head off Highway 20. Unfortunately, there is a lot of construction on Highway 20, so I'm kind of thinking maybe if I stand on this head-off road of Roble Lane, maybe I can find people as they're turning onto Highway 20 who might take mercy on me, but we'll see how this goes. I'll check back. All right, don't know if you can make out those signs behind me over my left shoulder there, but I've made it back. Well, made it for the first time to Highway 20 over here at Santiam Pass. It's 8:09 in the morning. Thermometer saying 68.8. I'm not sure. I just got out of a car. A lovely fella called Tam I didn't catch, who I assumed to be his wife's name, but I was hitching out there. It didn't take too terribly long at all. I think I got to the I got onto Highway 20 way back at that Roble or whatever road at like 7:18, and then got a hitch in like 5 minutes or something. So not too bad at all. Able to get back out here. So again, the plan for today, I don't know if this is again or for the first time. The plan for today, I'm going to hike southbound. I'm doing a southbound slack pack, just about 16, 17 miles. So it should be hopefully a pretty light day to get back to Lauren's car at D Wright Observatory slash Highway 242 slash whatever it was, Mackenzie Pass or something. Yeah, and then I got tons of chores. I did sit down and calculated exactly how much food I need to buy to package up into what 3, 4, or 5 different packages in Washington. I'm gonna have to buy up that food today, parcel it all out, make up little kits, little boxes, and then get off to both USPS and UPS to dispatch boxes to various locations across Washington for the next few weeks, so that I can stay fed and happy. And that's kind of the plan. So yeah, bang out these 16 miles, button up all my miles south of Highway 20 here, and then crack into chores. I do definitely also have to clean Lauren's home because it's just an explosion of like hiker filth right now, and gotta do some laundry, wash up his sheets and pillowcases and blankets and all that stuff that he was kind enough to let me and my buddy use, and then of course sweep and mop and vacuum and do dishes and all that. I mean, I'm living like a college kid over there, so it's a disaster right now, but it will be great. Anyways, all right, I'm gonna see where in the world I'm supposed to be going, and I will check back with you guys a little later. All right, 10:57 and 81 degrees, and I'm over here at Magic Mike's with Ava and Sally. Awesome. Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, so I've been hanging out here. How long have I been here? 2 beers.
4 beers worth of time, man.
3, thanks. Oh. We'll split the difference. It was 3. We're keeping count. It was 3. But yeah, just hanging out, talking sports in Oregon and all sorts of stuff. So this is kind of more what probably properly known as Magic Mike's joint. But how are you all? Are you guys akin to Mike, or?
I'm Mike's neighbor at home.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
known him for a long time. He's a good guy.
Awesome. Well, thanks for letting me hang out anyways. I really appreciate it. So, yeah, so I got another like 12 miles or whatever, but detour on a short day, so worthwhile. Thanks, guys.
There you go.
Cheers.
Safe travels.
Thanks. Good afternoon, folks. It is 85.4 degrees and the time is 11 minutes past 2 p.m. I am again heading southbound today, but it's time for a weekly health update. Of course, I do these every week just to let you know how the body and the gear are doing, and I thought this might be a really interesting section of trail to show you. I am right next to Little, I don't know if it's Little Belknap or Little Belknap, and then of course behind me over here is Belknap Crater, or Belknap Crater, excuse my lack of familiarity with the pronunciation of that. Off in the distance, hopefully you can quite clearly make out, that is North Sister on the left side, if you will, with less snow on it, and then Middle Sister sort of immediately abutting it with more snow on it, the peak on the right. And that littler peak off on the right is called the Husband. There's also a peak called the Wife, which is obscured from view at the moment. But anyways, that's where we're at. We're also about 2.5 miles, 2 miles or something like that from Highway 242 or D Right Observatory, where Lauren's truck is parked and where my day will end. So anyways, health update. We'll start down at the bottom per usual. Of course, last week I was bemoaning my rather excruciating pain in the right ankle. That has subsided somewhat. It is no longer excruciating. It is now just back to being generally unpleasant. I was for 3 or 4 days probably wrapping it up with an ace bandage and taking ibuprofen. I did discontinue those measures after 3 or 4 days. We'll come back to that. I'll say when I wrap up my ankle with an ace bandage, it's just extremely delicate to do, because if I wrap it too loosely, obviously it does nothing, and if I wrap it too tightly, I will put far more pressure than comfortable on both my Achilles tendon as well as sort of the bones going down my foot beyond my ankle. Sort of those 4, whatever they are, metatarsal bones, 5, excuse me. Yeah, and they can sort of start to feel smushed as well. So got to wrap it exactly the right tightness, and then generally whenever I do wrap it with an ace bandage, I will also typically I'll remove that ace bandage whenever I stop for like a midday stop, lunch, whatever, just to kind of, I don't really need it wrapped up all day. Anyways, I said that I was doing that for 3 or 4 days and then I stopped. That ceasing those measures coincided with the abundance of slack packing, which I've been doing these last few days. Of course, Jason was in town. Really appreciate him coming out to visit for this 3rd hike now. And of course I was in Bend, staying at Lauren's place with access to his car as well as Jason's car. So I with all that transportation available and a nice place to rest without paying $100 a night or $200 a night or whatever, seems like a great opportunity to get in some slack packing, not only because it was available, but also because I had been dealing with that pretty serious ankle discomfort. So last few days have been great for resting that. I'm sure now that I'm acclimated to a very light pack, it'll be pretty tough to go back to a full pack. But anyways, it is what it is. The body needed to recover, really, and it was a great opportunity to do that. So that's what's going on there. I expect that this is just going to be an issue I deal with for the rest of the hike. Pain in that right ankle, pain and stiffness in that right ankle. As long as it doesn't get a whole lot worse, hopefully I can just keep dealing with it. Aside from that, toenails, they're still holding on. So far I've only lost a grand total of 1 toenail, but I expect another couple will be on their way still. And speaking of nails, my right hand, that pointer finger, which has been giving me so much sort of trouble on and off one way or another. Of course in Ashland with Miss Fireweed, went by a nail salon and put some gel on there, like a gel nail or whatever. That's working great, still working like a dream. It's super amazing. I feel like I just want to get gel nails for every through hike just at the start and be done with it, but we'll kind of see. Probably not. Only other body thing I think I have to discuss is, again, that sort of rash occurring under my pack waist belt or waistband or whatever. I met up with Pisa back at Crater Lake Another hiker called Pisa, he went through the Sierras as well, although a little bit ahead of me. And he should be right in this immediate area, within a day of where I'm at. Anyways, Pisa called that phenomenon, which he too is experiencing, called it pack rash, which seems a perfectly appropriate and applicable name. So that's what I'm calling it now too, pack rash. Super unpleasant, but I can't really think of anything to do about it. So I think, just like the ankle, we're just kind of reaching that point in the hike where I'm just kind of dealing with stuff. So is what it is. Onward to gear. I have 3 big pieces of gear news for this week. I think I mentioned some of these last week. First and foremost, got a brand new pair of shoes, hoping that might help with some of that foot and ankle issue. My previous pair of shoes had just about 670 miles on them, which is far longer than I usually ask my shoes to perform. Picked those up. Those were new in Quincy quite some time ago now. So happy to have a new pair, and so far so good, although they are off to a quick start with lava rocks, which are kind of notoriously brutal on shoes. So I could have worn my old shoes for this section and kind of saved some of the life of my new ones, and I'd considered doing that, but really I care not at all about the life of the shoes. I care about what the shoes do for my feet. So frankly, the whole idea of walking on tough terrain and choosing to use diminished shoes is really confusing priorities. So I decided I'd rather brutalize these shoes, and I still have plenty more pair at home. Again, at the beginning of all the hikes, I bought up like 6 pairs of these shoes, switched out the insoles, put on like glued on some Velcro on the back for the gaiters, switched out the shoelaces for laces I prefer, all that sort of stuff. You can go back and look at my gear loadout video for the PCT and get a little more information on that. But all this just to say that I have several more pairs at home, and so I'll be getting probably just 1 more pair out for this hike, and that should do it. But yeah, let's see. So that's my shoes. That's 1 piece of gear. Another piece of gear, of course, my wife had mailed out. Well, not just my shoes. My beautiful and amazing, brilliant wife Daphne had mailed out my shoes, and with that had mailed out my Z-Packs Arc Haul. So I had flown with the Arc Haul out to San Diego to start this hike, but of course made the switch immediately before even starting the hike to the Osprey Aether 85-liter pack in anticipation of the Sierras, with every expectation that I would get that Arc Haul back out on the north side of the Sierra as well. When Daph and I said our goodbyes and she took off and flew home and I started this trail, we had to disassemble that Arc Haul somewhat, removed the vertical stays to pack it into her suitcase and get it home, but it didn't get reassembled before it was dispatched to me here in Bend. And frankly, I mean, I can't expect, I'm not mad at her. I should have recalled that, and I did not recall that. So anyways, that pack without the vertical stays is probably not completely useless, but certainly far less helpful than just keeping the Osprey 85-liter pack. So that's what it is. I sent that Z-Packs pack back to her, and I'm keeping the Osprey for just the remainder of the hike. It's just far too many logistical challenges to figure out how to negotiate getting replacement parts or whatever else at this point, and then what I would do with the Aether and all this. So it'll be the Osprey Aether for the remainder of the hike. And final thing I'll mention about gear is my Z-Packs Duplex. So I love that tent. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And I was concerned about the zippers, the integrity of the zippers. I had reached out to Z-Packs. They dispatched 4 new zippers, as well as some Dyneema tape, just free of charge. They're great. They always take great care of me. No sponsorship. But yeah, so putting on those new zipper pulls was a humongous pain. Super, super appreciative to have Jason's help and presence for that, because it was definitely a four-hand job. Four-handed job, that is. Anyways, yeah, so I was able to put on the new zipper pulls. I also got out some zipper lube, bought some zipper lube from REI here in Bend and applied that as well. I've heard good things about that zipper lube, so hopefully that'll fix the zipper issues I was experiencing. And with that, I think that's about all I got for my health update. So yeah, feet, you know, all that. Yeah, I think that's about all I got. Shouldn't be too terribly far, as I think I already mentioned, from Lauren's truck. So I expect the terrain will look more or less like this. Not sure if I'll have more shots for you or not, but either way I'll check in once I'm done with this hike. Talk to you guys later. Alright, 253, 93.8 degrees. That's 253, 93.8 degrees. Made it back to Lauren's truck. I'm gonna drop off my stuff. There's a little water cache over here and a few people hanging out. I guess there's a guy going for the FKT who's expected just about any minute. So I don't know how long I'll hang out, but I'll definitely at least drink some water because there is no water at all on this stretch of trail. So I'm gonna hydrate up a little bit before I get out of here. Maybe hang tight just a little bit and see if that FKT guy shows up. And if he does, great. And if he doesn't, that's just fine too. I know he's not gonna stop for me. So anyways, just wanted to timestamp it. I'll talk to you guys later. Yes, there's like a whole little fan club down there at the trailhead where Lauren's truck is and where I dropped off my stuff. Whole little fan club for this FKT dude, Carl. Look at that, it extends all the way up here, I guess. Oh, I guess that's him. Hey, hey. There it goes. That's what happens when you're trying to set an FKT. I mean, I guess I got a lot of respect for the endeavor, but completely different than what I'm trying to achieve. For now, all I'm trying to achieve is just get down to where I left off yesterday to make sure I have a complete contiguous footpath. So if he's still there when I get back, maybe we'll say hello, but I expect he'll be gone. All right.